Welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review. Episode, yes, episode, not part, episode number 46. You're probably wondering why the heck did I change it from part to episode? Because at this point, just calling it episode basically would just be better. Though this only comes out once a month, at least basically because these dub episodes only come out once a month a lot of the time. That's what I'm basically covering for these episodes. Now, this one I'm basically covering the last 8 episodes we've released. Episodes 725 to 732. Now, we continue the fight between Luffy and Doflamingo, which basically goes off the King's Palace after they've been stuck there for quite some time. Yeah, Luffy's stuck in the palace for quite a while, actually. Yeah, he's been at the palace for about 30 episodes. Seems like longer. Seems like about 40 episodes he's been stuck at the frickin' palace. Now he's finally left. He basically fights Doflamingo for a while, and then he unleashes something that if you watch the dub for One Piece Stampede, if you watch One Piece Stampede and the previous film Gold, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you're wondering about the thumbnail, that's what I'm talking about right here. Let's see if we can find it here. Alright, here it is. He basically blows into his hockey arm to make fourth gear! Yes, it is so awesome to see this thing. To see the anime debut of this particular mode. Now, here's some interesting things about this particular mode. This is the Balloon Man. This is the default mode, mind you, because in the very... It happens in Whole Cake. He debuts 2 new modes for this particular thing, couple variants. But this is the main mode that generally when people think of, when people think of 4th gear, Balloon Man. Basically, Luffy's arms are totally covered with hockey. His chest basically has the markings of the Gum Gum fruit. Now, in case you're curious though, where did Oda take inspiration from this particular mode from? Oh, by the way, this mode allows Luffy to fly. Yes, it allows him to fly. Now, you're probably thinking, what the heck shoots out of his legs that allows him to fly? Protein! He shoots protein out of his legs. I am not kidding. That's seriously what this thing shoots. And whenever he does his special attacks, basically, it's kind of like his arm just squishes in and basically acts like a mechanical robot before it finally fires off basically his big blast. Now, the inspiration for this particular mode comes from Dragon Ball GT. Yes. You're probably thinking, what the heck did Oda take from GT to make this awesome mode? Super Saiyan 4! Yes, he took inspiration from that mode for this particular thing. And basically, Luffy is beating the crap out of Doflamingo for quite a while, a lot of these episodes. And meanwhile, though, we see the bird cage is shrinking. Yep, the bird cage is shrinking. And at several points, basically, Luffy is waiting for Doflamingo to get up so he can continue fighting, but he's like, I gotta stop wasting time, gotta beat the crap out of him. And at one point, basically, he gets so close to beating him, that's when his hockey runs out. And we see the announcer. Yeah, we see him pop up again, first time in quite a while, actually. Him along with Jesus Burgess, the first captain of the Blackbeard fleet. By the way, in case you're curious, though, his ship that he's in charge of is the original ship that first showed up pre-time skip. The one that's a giant raft. Yes, believe it or not, that's actually his own personal ship. The rest of the ships related to the Blackbeard fleet are regular standard ships that they took from the Navy. Yes, seriously. That's seriously what he took for his actual ships. The only reason why that Jesus Burgess was named the first captain, because he's been with Blackbeard a long time. By the way, Blackbeard, if you look at appearances currently, he's more like the traditional version of Blackbeard, him with the long actual Blackbeard braids. Yeah, that's inspiration from the actual Blackbeard, who basically the character Blackbeard is based on. Except that Blackbeard in real life was not a guy who was chubby. He was very thin. Of course, it was 17th century, so Golden Age of piracy, the one thing that basically Oda loves to take inspiration from. So, he shows up and he tries to attack Luffy when he basically is down. But look if Sabo steps in and basically stops him, beats the crap out of him for a while, and then he goes basically about. Now, Koala is not in these episodes, mind you. We see that Usopp basically is in the sidelines. He's not doing much of anything. He basically is riding in the back of a fishman. Why he's doing it? Because he can't quickly move around very well, because he basically got severely injured. And we also see that the birdcage is like not only shrinking, but then all of a sudden it picks up a little speed. And Frankie notices that the birdcage can't cut the factory, the smile factory. The reason why, because it's made of sea prism stone. And he doesn't go into detail what the heck that is. Sea prism stone is something that people who are devil fruit users are weak against. Yes, that is seriously the weakness aside from swimming in the ocean. Yeah, they can't say sea prism stone. So they use this to basically push against the damn thing. And luckily enough, basically, we see Zoro, Kanjuro, and Kinemon use their swords, basically covered also in hockey. The Zoro uses only 2 of his swords, not all 3 of them, just 2 of them. The push against the birdcage. And the Admiral, the one I think is Fukujawa, he basically decides to help out with Zoro to stop the birdcage from shrinking. So he basically goes to full hockey, even though he's not exactly strong enough, but basically his hockey is pretty strong. So he basically uses that to basically against the actual cage. And here's the thing, all the Navy officers are with them. Like, anybody who's got hockey, push against the birdcage. Anybody who doesn't have hockey, go to the Smile Factory and push against that. And then we also see Bartholomew, and thanks also Mariboshi, the actual princess of the Teratora tribe, using a temporary healing potion on everybody, and they all help out. And of course, we see Bartholomew using his berry for doing this, just cross fingers, and he's also doing this and doing this at the same time, pushing against the barrier in order to stop the actual birdcage. Though with him, aside from the Coliseum fires, Nico Robbins helps him out along with Gyros. And of course, Rebecca has the actual civilians, the actual regular citizens. They help out too, because it's their country too. Help out too, so why the heck not? Heck, even King Riku himself helps out in the efforts. Yes, King Riku and his general Tank. Like, everybody participates in this. This is so awesome. The fact everybody chips in. Surprisingly, Usopp doesn't do anything surprising. I kind of, basically, even though the kind of spectators, they don't really do a lot per se, but this is a big thing. And, of course, the reason why the thing picked up speed, because Doflamingo was getting antsy. He was getting very angry, and, of course, everybody was basically delayed. So the actual general, well, not general, the announcer, basically is carrying Luffy for basically 10 minutes. In order to recharge his hockey, so he can use to beat the crap out of Doflamingo, basically, so to finish him in one punch. So, and then he gets to a point where there's like 3.5 minutes left, and Trafalgar Law shows up, lucky enough his arm is sewn back on and healed up too. So he takes Luffy to a safe place, and Gear, and of course the announcer climbs up the side of the new King Plateau, and basically gives an inspirational speech. This is just after King Riku himself basically gave an inspirational speech about how the fact that he apologizes what happened 10 years prior to this particular story, and also he should put faith in Luffy. The fact also that the announcer basically figured out, though, that Luffy, even though Luffy was Lucy the whole time, up into the final battle, he says, oh yeah, that was actually Sabo who did that. It's like, even though it's Violent Rules, I'll let it slide because basically of the stuff going on. Which, that's quite nice of the announcer to do. Though, I'm thinking, though, does the announcer also have authority in the... Like, is he also the authority? Is he also the authority on the Coliseum fights? He must be, because clearly he knows the rule book. Yeah. But then, of course, we actually have Trafalgar Law taken about. And then we have Viola try to kill Doflamingo, though Rebecca tries to help her too. Though they end up basically Rebecca and Violet puts up a pretty decent fight, despite the fact she's not, let's just say, good at basically hitting him very well. And then she gets covered in his strings. And Rebecca, her beautiful niece, 16-year-old girl, she gets strung up too. And luckily enough, apparently Doflamingo doesn't notice this at all. Like apparently, like we have Rebecca with her sword. I don't think it's her actual sword from the Coliseum. It was one of the air swords she picked up. She's about to hit her own aunt in the head with this sword. And then, just by sheer coincidence, the very second that Viola hits that she's about to hit Viola, Luffy's there to stop with his hockey, and the sword breaks. And where's Viola, I might ask? Got transported where Law is. And with Luffy there, that means the fight resumes. Also, Doflamingo took the time to basically hit the announcer. Basically fire one of his string bullets at him. Yep, and then with the end of this episode, we're going to resume the actual fight between Doflamingo and Luffy. Yep, and that will pretty much consume most of the final 14 episodes of this arc. Yes, I love this batch of episodes. It is really good. I love the fact we finally got a chance to see fourth gear finally. I'm sure for the cast of One Piece, the dub cast, for them, it's not the first time they saw the fourth gear, per se, because they did do the dub for One Piece Gold and One Piece Stampede. So, not the first time they've actually had to do fourth gear, but they're probably very happy to see the actual debut of this particular move, even though they did the movies before the actual arc itself. It's how they do the dubs. Yep, so yes, that is definitely it, this particular review, and I do not have time to do any more reviews tonight because I got home really late from a very political dinner I went to. And tomorrow, expect to see reviews for, hopefully I can do a Super Sentai review along with reviews for How Realistic Ruled the Kingdom, The Case of Atlantis, and Case Closed. I'm hoping to do these 4 tomorrow. I don't have a common corners coming, but I'm hoping to do these 4 tomorrow. And I'm hoping that'll probably be it for tomorrow. But this one I really wanted to do tonight because I really enjoyed these episodes. So exciting, good pacing, love them. Cannot wait for the final release. Do not know when it's going to release. By the way, these 7 episodes were only released 3 days ago. And you're thinking, really? 3 days ago? Yes, seriously. It was usually released like 3 days ago. And now we're basically getting close to wrap up the actual arc itself. And then we're going to move on right after this arc, hopefully, to the Zoo Island arc. Though first, they're probably going to throw in the dub for the Silver Mine arc. Yep, the Silver Mine arc of the series. Yes, that will come first. That's only just like 4 episodes. And that's pretty much it for that. And then we have episode 751, 759. That's probably going to be the first part. Yeah, Zoo Island itself probably will take about 4 for that one. In the case of Whole Cake, because I think that'll be starting in that one probably by next year, maybe. Now, I took basically of like what I normally do, like 13 episodes a piece. This is going to take up probably about 8 parts, I'd say. Yes, I'd probably say so. That or the fact when they get to the final 2 episodes of the arc, they'll probably just squeeze it into, like, I would probably say they might squeeze it in to, like, part 7 and then have the next one just cover the whole entire Levy arc. It depends on Funimation what they want to do with it. But I would say by this point next year, they're probably finally going to start dubbing the current arc of the anime Wano at this point. Providing the fact they don't take a month off like it did recently. Okay, so that's definitely it. Stay tuned for tomorrow for my videos for tomorrow. Okay, next video. Bye.